And I'm not here to judge.
Law 22.
Yeah.
If it exists, there's a point of it.
Mm-hmm. Except for Sammy's twin point.
Come on.
10.
There we go.
There's just not enough of them.
With attitude. Hi.
Hi.
Sexy right now.
So last time we played, you guys previously had found this little kid named Takesis in an orb that you purified, but Caius actually removed the entity inside of it on accident. So you decided to go back to San Francisco, talk to the queen bee, basically, and she said, well, we can't use this anymore, but you happen to have a raw version of it. You need these certain things. And one of them is another child to put inside of the thing. And you're running around with this little kid. You decided to take him home.
Mm-hmm.
So you went up to the Fey Wood in San Francisco, entered a portal, and entered the Fey Wild. You spend a bunch of time walking through like endless fields until you reached a delta. Once you got to the delta, you decided to cross. Robin teleported across the whole thing easily. Sylvanas decided to take Takesis with him and got caught in the current, and it started pulling you in. While this was happening, Nokomis jumped over a few rivers and
Stepped on a crocodile.
a dire crocodile, as a matter of fact. It was touch and go for everybody for a while, and through some harrowing events and lots of chewing, swallowing, and spitting out, and teleporting out of stomachs, you guys defeated the crocodile. Worse for wear.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you are 2 rivers away from Takesis, who is all alone right now. Nevin, your guide, is
Standing on a riverbank laughing at us.
looking really worried across a riverbank at you guys. So,
Cool.
the waters are rushing. Everybody's kind of exhausted from this giant fight.
Yeah. Let's take that. Okay. So we need to go and get Takesis.
Yeah, I'm staying right here. Last time I tried jumping over this damn water, I stepped on a
That's
crocodile.
What's your health?
Low. 19.
35, but I'll take care of myself.
You don't have any dimension hop doors. That's what I
If he stops right now and sleeps.
Yeah.
I don't think
You
we-
saved your ass from a crocodile with that shit, though.
Yeah. Okay.
Teleporting your dead body out of the stomach of a crocodile.
Wasn't enough. Very nice.
Well, no one's dead right now.
But everybody's alive.
Yep.
I'm
Even if
doing
just
cure light
barely.
wounds on myself.
Okay.
I'm gonna use a wand on you for cure moderate wound.
Okay. Oh, I need a bag. Where's
What do you need?
bag of dice?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Shot. That's fine. Thank you.
Okay. Does anybody need markers or anything?
Yeah, I think 1 marker is fine. Just in case. Okay.
Totally forgot about that stuff because everybody always has their own dice.
We just need more dice.
Yeah.
So you need D8s, right?
What level are we?
Huh?
What level are we?
8.
Or 8. What?
2d8.
There you go. Oh, you just need 2.
We're level 8 right now?
Yep.
So, about 19.
Nice.
All right. Looking better. About
Is that
halfway.
cure light wounds or cure moderate?
Moderate.
Okay, cool.
So, we're gonna have to get across the river back to him. I'm probably the best suited for it because I can jump and swim
Is
really
it
well.
back to him? Or
It's
is it...
back to him. We need to be here. And he's all the way over here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you want him to do it by himself. And...
I don't think that's a great
That was
idea.
fun.
Okay, cool.
I can inspire
It's really
competence, which will give you a +2 on all your checks.
I forgot it was Tuesday.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'll take it.
How long does that last?
As long as I'm performing.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, I just want to get at least to
Does he have
him.
to be able to hear you or see you?
That's what I'm reading now. It's not what I use often. They have to be within 30 feet of me and able to hear me, so that might not work so well once you get over there.
So it'll at least be the first river. Help me out.
Yeah.
But because I'm assuming these rivers are pretty loud because they're.
You get
Yeah, they are.
+2.
It's a delta. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty like crashing water on rocks and shit like that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we're not gonna have Tokisis come over here by himself.
Yeah, it would help with the first river at least.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I will step up toward the edge of the river.
Absolutely.
Like right about there.
Uh-huh.
Where you're going to go across and scream in your ear.
Wait,
What's up?
Wait. I'm getting rid of one of my spells and putting on Cure Serious Wound. What's your health at? Yeah.
38.
I'm gonna use Cure Serious Wound on you.
Okay.
Where's that? Those are 8.
Oh, you need more 8s. How many?
1. Uh, 16, 24.
Nice. So I'm basically back to full health. A
Sweet.
little short. Okay. So you're
I'm guessing I'm singing my inspiration.
okay. Cool. So I jump.
Okay, so do a jump roll for me.
Yep. Where's my jumps? I assume that's acrobatics.
Skills. It's under. It's there.
It's an acrobatic skill. There's no jump.
Yeah, there's no jump.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I thought there was jump.
We've been using acrobatics.
There's a swim, but there's no jump.
Huh. Why did I think there was a jump? I believe you. Yeah, do acrobatics then.
Because we played something before that had a jump in it.
Where?
It was a one-shot thingy.
So I need my calculator. 16 plus 19 plus 2. 37.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I have a plus 19 to acrobatics.
Yeah, you hop right over that. Oh, it was. Is it acrobatics or athletics?
There is no
There's no
athletics.
athletics.
Okay, then wrong game. I'm getting so mixed up right now. Because there's a climb. I don't know why there's not a jump, but
Yeah.
okay.
And there's a swim and a ride,
Yes,
but no jump. So
that's weird. Okay, sure.
I do my best.
So you make it over, yeah. Boom.
like that. Cool. And then
Let's see. So yeah, you're still you can barely hear him.
okay, cool.
Getting back's gonna be hard, but
That's fine, and especially since I'll have the child on my back, which is what was the issue before. 7 plus 2, 28.
yeah, you totally make it over.
Cool.
Easy.
Boom.
Why were you having such a hard time last time?
He wasn't. We were.
No, he
No,
was.
I did at first. I was the first one to fall. It was because I had a child on my back. Yeah,
No,
It
we
was the
were
last
there.
one. Oh, I thought it was the last one.
because I cleared the first one fine,
There were a few.
and then I got caught here, and then he fell off of me. That was the issue. Because I made it, but my feet got like
Yeah, it was
I landed
crazy.
in the water, and then he went.
Because he couldn't hold on.
Because he's a small child.
Yep, he's
Yeah.
a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Because you didn't wait.
I didn't wait. It was my fault. I'll completely admit that. I should have waited for you to say I will do that. And I was like, I can just hold on to him and jump. Which it didn't work.
You're like, look at me. Like, okay,
I'm a ranger, I got strength.
I can jump really far. Okay, so I go and I go to Takesis.
Okay. He's looking pretty waterlogged. He's not
Mhm.
having a really great time either.
Okay. I console him a little bit. I give him some food. I have by food I mean rations.
Yeah, he's
But
got some
something.
too.
Yeah. You know,
They're soggy. Everybody's soggy, but
it's, I'm just trying to console him. And then, can I use my rope to tie him to my back?
absolutely.
Okay, I will do that.
So he's probably too weak to hold on right now anyway because
so-
of all that stuff that he went through.
Of course. So I now tie him to my back,
Okay.
and I will attempt to jump back over the rivers
Okay.
because I don't really have another option for that. Okay, so let's do this. That's a good one. 18 plus 19. 37.
Yeah. You totally make it back over.
Okay. And then just one more.
And you are
pieces.
within range.
I'm within range, so I'll take the extra 2. 6 plus 27.
27. You jump across and your foot slips behind you, but you catch yourself right at the very last minute because you've got a kid on your back. And
Yeah, and I got rope all over me.
he kind of weighs you down in the back, but you just make it over and you are safe on the inlet with everyone else right now.
Okay.
I think we should do a rope system before we do the next one.
For the next one, or maybe we like take a little rest.
Can we? In
Yeah.
the marsh?
I mean, now that we have the child with us, we're not. Yeah.
It's pretty stable ground.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the stuff in the middle. It's silty and stuff. It's sand, but it's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Just at least like start a fire, warm ourselves up.
That would probably be really difficult in the middle of a delta.
That's true. That's true. Okay, so what do you guys want to do? Do you want to just go for it, or do you want to rest?
Well, what's it like? A full rest? Or like a. I
I
need
don't
full
know.
rest for my spells, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on the other side, you can see that the sandy area around the last river leads into what looks like forest that starts getting more dense. So it's just kind of, it's watery, it's soggy out here. Probably wouldn't be a good place to rest.
Okay.
You'd be covered in mud or sink into it by the time you're done.
Okay.
I keep singing, so maybe you can make this jump.
Yeah, absolutely. So I can make this
worry
jump,
about
and
me.
I was
I'm worried about you too, but I got a plan for
What
that.
I was gonna say is I can like take a rope, like if you and like. Do
Are you
like
taking
that.
Jokesis with you, or are you just doing it by yourself?
Yes, I will take Jokesis with me
Okay.
again, just to make sure that the wee child is fine. So, but do we want do you want to take like a rope over so like you guys can like
I don't
Or
want to
pull
encumber
yourself.
you anymore. I mean, I guess I could tie
Yeah.
another rope to you, but I'm worried. Nah,
Well, you can send a rope, can't you?
I can send a rope.
Yeah. So once I get over, you can send a rope to me, and that would be good. Okay. So I will attempt again to jump over the river with Tokesis on my back.
Okay.
So 35.
Yes, you make it easily.
Hey, and I can mage hand a rope over to you, like the end of a rope over to you.
Okay, so you attempt that, and right as it gets about halfway across, the rope just sinks into the water. Looks like your spell fizzled out halfway across.
Probably some sort of like magical thing going on with those rivers or something.
Well, that's dumb.
Yeah. Can I?
Okay, I can pull the rope back and
Yes, you
shoot
can.
an arrow.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Absolutely,
I was
yeah.
going to say, can I shoot an arrow with a rope tied to it? So, you want me to shoot it? Or
You
want
can
me
attempt to, yes.
Why don't you shoot it? Because if I shoot it, I'll probably shoot you.
Okay, and I'm really good at shooting.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Okay, so I tie a rope to my arrow, and I shoot
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
like over here somewhere. I'll roll attack, I assume.
Yeah.
26.
Yeah, super easy. You just thunk right at Robin's feet.
Robin, grab the rope.
Perfect.
So
So you guys,
tie it around my body.
well, yeah. Oh, I have to pull you.
No, he's gonna jump, but if he falls into the water,
You
Then I
know,
have
my
to pull
grip
him?
is not great. So
Yeah,
as long as
that's fine. So tie it, and then if you fail, I'll try.
if you fail,
I'll
we got two backups. 'cause
try
I'm
to pull
so-
you. I'm fairly strong. I'm a much better
So,
runner than
I'm gonna prep a
puller.
spell to cast in the instance that Robin falls into the water.
Okay.
It may not last because the water seems to be magical, but whatever. It's buoyancy, it'll make you float.
Okay.
So then, because I know you can't swim either, so.
swim is 0.
So no.
So magical life vest is prepared,
Okay.
and you do get a +2 if you run up next to me.
Yeah.
Well, he'll be running by you.
Yeah.
If I get a running start, does it help?
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Okay, so I'm gonna take a 10, 15, 20 foot running start,
Mm-hmm.
and I get the +2 from you.
Mhm.
Because you're within 30 feet.
21.
Yeah.
Is that makes it?
You just make it, yeah.
Yay!
Yeah, you make it to the other side. Your feet kind of slide in a little bit, and then you
Okay.
sink into the sand
So I untie the rope. And do you need me to shoot another arrow to you?
of it. Away from the edge!
Not taking a goddamn chance.
28.
28
Yeah.
to get across. That's not including your inspiration.
No, because I
Okay.
can't inspire myself with
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah, you make it totally. Yeah.
We did it!
You did it. You
I have a
were-
good acrobatics.
Team! Good job.
I have a decent acrobatics check.
Good. Those are fun.
Yeah, I remember for a second.
They're so fun. Okay, now do we want to rest?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't have any spells, so I'm like.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, again, you were right next to this delta.
Well, we
it's
can-
sand and stuff, but
We can move in a little bit,
okay.
like towards the forest.
So you move in and you hear the rushing of the delta behind you fade away a little bit.
Mhm.
As you move in a little bit further, you notice that the roots of the trees are getting a little bit thicker, a little bit denser, a little more gnarly, but it seems solid enough.
Use perception.
Yeah, go for it. What are you looking for?
Just anything around us, or like a camp, but like what seems
clearing.
Like a clearing.
Are you looking for a clearing? Okay.
18.
Yeah, you find a spot where it's a little muddy still, but there's enough roots and stuff that you can like kind of wedge into them.
Right.
It's going to be really hard to start a fire here,
Yeah.
but you
Yeah,
won't
it's
sink
like-
into the mud if you like stay on the roots and things like
Do we want to use like warning?
Yeah, I'll do an alarm. Internal.
that. Okay. And it's 30 feet.
I think it's a 30.
We have those rations too, right?
Yeah, we have.
rations.
I mean, we have wet rations, but
What?
they're wet. But you can still.
Well, yours are.
Yeah.
I guess you never fell in the water. Huh?
Nobody
Nope.
else did but you and Takesis. By the way, you see Takesis start to shiver a little bit as well.
For 45 feet.
Okay, yeah, plenty. Like radius or
It's a radial.
oh, cool.
Yeah, it's 25 feet. No,
And what are you tuning it
Oh,
to?
sorry. It's a 20-foot radius. I'm sorry. Center mountain.
You.
A point in space. So wherever I sit down.
Okay, and what are you tuning it to?
Who are you tuning it to?
You're in a forest. There's animals everywhere.
Internal head.
Right, I
But then
know.
you're just gonna be ringing because like.
Constantly, because the animals are going to be running across it. What are you tuning it to?
Well, humanoid.
Humanoid?
Yeah.
Okay.
If we have fire around, wouldn't be any.
We can't build a fire if it's.
I have stun metal still, so I can light one of our weapons on fire and just like stick it at the ground or something. Does that work?
Yeah, you could try that.
Yeah.
You notice that the light here hasn't really changed. It's starting to get a little bit. Actually, it hasn't changed at all. It still looks like it's sunset constantly.
It's mostly just for warmth.
Yeah.
Because the kid is shivering.
Get it shivering. I also pull out my winter coat from the.
And I look at the kid and I go, prestidigitation, you're dry now.
Okay, there you go.
You get me too? I'm also super wet.
What's the other reason I stepped on that
I think you're all kind of filthy right now. You're
Yeah.
covered in mud, and
No, I did it the minute I come out of that crocodile. I did it to myself.
you were dead when you came out of that
He
crocodile.
healed me, and I immediately got up and did it.
Perfect. So now I'm all clean and not gross.
Yes.
Cool. So then we.
Get prestidigitated?
Prestidigitation.
Yeah,
Prestidigitated?
the guy that got swallowed for the crocodile to save your like, dead body. I don't-
Crocodile slobber off me, please.
Dimension door into a crocodile and out of one to get your body. And you're not even gonna clean me?
Cool. So we're gonna rest.
In full 8 hours, right?
Sure. Full 8 hours.
Okay, let's see these.
Oh, that people's need.
About 2 hours in, you hear an alarm go off in your head.
Alright.
Everybody else is passed out.
Right. I pop up perception.
Okay, what are you looking for? The humanoid?
The humanoid, which is what I was attuned to.
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
he's somewhere within 20 feet. 18.
Okay. Yeah, you look around. You don't see anything.
Alright, I'm gonna wake up Sylvanas.
Okay.
Alarm went off.
Oh man. Okay. Did you see anything?
I didn't see anything. I looked around, didn't see anything, and I'm trying to
figure out.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on and making sure he
Gets
gets
his-
me some sleep for
Okay.
spells.
Can I roll perception?
Yeah. What are you looking for?
The humanoid that said his
Anything.
alarm
Okay.
off?
I mean, specifically, since you couldn't see a humanoid, are you looking for like tracks or?
Yeah. Let's do track.
Okay.
30.
30. So you start walking around the perimeter and you see like barely like a footprint that's filling in with water.
Okay.
And it's only one. And it's kind of in a weird place. It looks like the toe is actually facing a tree,
Mm-hmm.
and there's nothing there. It's just one footprint that's facing a tree, like right in the little like
Is it like
crevice of
boot? It's boot shaped.
It is, yeah. It's not like toe shaped or anything.
Okay.
But
Okay.
It looks like one giant toe going into a tree.
it does. There are no other footprints.
Okay. Can I look up the tree?
Yeah.
Do I? I'm gonna climb the tree. Can I try it?
Absolutely.
Attempt to climb the tree. I'm gonna attempt to climb the tree.
Why are you leaving me down here?
Well, I can also, if I climb the tree, I might
Wait,
be
are
able
you
to see
climbing?
something.
Am I near him? Because if I'm near him, I'm stepping back so in case he falls out of this tree.
I mean, were you near him? Were you like helping him look?
I'm guarding over Robin
Okay.
while he's
And Tokisis.
doing his Tokisis. While
Yeah,
he's doing his
Tokisis is
scout
passed
thing.
out too. That kid is exhausted.
While he's doing his scout thing.
Okay. 27.
Okay. Yeah, you climb the tree. It's a little bit more difficult than a normal tree just because the branches don't start low. But you make it up to the first few branches and you start looking around and you notice that the forest kind of starts getting denser the farther from the delta it gets. You can, up where you are right now, you can kind of hear the echoes of the delta, but not, I mean, you can't really see anything else besides the forest. There's a bunch of branches in the way.
Okay. I'm gonna climb back down.
Okay.
Give me a roll again.
No.
Okay.
Does he climb out of the tree or does he fall out of the
Right.
tree?
No, with that, he's
Fine.
pretty much fine.
Okay. Cool. So I climbed up a little bit. I didn't see anything, but maybe we should be on the lookout because there might be something like up in the higher branches.
Alright, so he's telling me this as he comes back.
Mhm.
They're still all asleep.
Yeah, Nevin's like kind of asleep. He's kind of like curled up, like in a ball with Tokisis and Robin.
Okay. So, do you want to go back to sleep? I can keep watch for a little bit, or
I suppose you're gonna need some sleep too, though.
yeah, I will. But
Just waking up in a few hours, I guess.
okay.
Okay. Standing watch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do a perception check for me.
22.
22. You don't really see much. You see a few squirrels, few birds, things like that, flying in and out, scrambling around, but nothing too interesting. It goes by pretty quiet.
Okay.
A couple hours passes.
I wake up.
Okay. So you've got about 4 hours sleep so far.
So I just tell you I didn't see anything. Like, if you want to set an alarm, we can both go back to sleep and go from there, if you like, or if you want to take watch. It's up to you. I'm comfortable if you want to just set another alarm. We just both pass out. 'Cause we're both pretty
I'll just
exhausted.
set another alarm.
Okay. You set the alarm again. A few hours go by, nothing.
Cool.
You wake up like super rested. That was really nice. It's like you've got this weird little stinky fawn in one arm and a little elven kid in the other, just kind of like nuzzling up against your armor.
Cool.
It feels kind of good. It's kind of warm, actually.
warm.
You're like, oh god, finally I'm warm.
Nice.
Not inside of something.
Okay. So then I assume we all wake up. I inform Robin and Nevin about the footprint I found and just that something was around that went away.
If we did. You have knowledge nature, don't you?
I
really well.
do, but I know nothing about this place.
I was saying.
Yeah, we're in a completely different world here.
Yeah.
So. Oh, can I show Nevin the footprint?
Oh, yeah. And because I speak his language now, don't I?
Nevin speaks common.
Yeah.
Tokisa speaks Sylvan.
Yeah. Okay, so I show Nevin. Hey, Nevin, do you see, like, is this footprint familiar to you at all, or?
What footprint?
Oh, sorry. Take him over.
And it's gone.
Oh, and it's gone. Okay.
Yeah. It looks like it had filled in
Filled in
overnight,
with
and then
water.
whatever, like, filled in the
Mud,
whole
yeah.
thing in, yeah.
Okay.
Take a picture.
Ground is magic.
Yeah.
Sound is magic. 4 is lava. Okay. Now that everyone's all rested, Nevin, do you want to take point on where we're heading to, or?
I kind of know where we're going.
Okay. I mean, it's more than
I
we
thought
do.
that's why we were following you.
It's more than we do.
I mean, I did promise to help you get there.
Yeah.
I can't promise that we'll arrive, but it'll
Um,
help.
I mean, it's better than us leading the way because we don't know where we're going. So
So,
I appreciate it.
The floor of the forest becomes denser. Leaves and small bushes make it harder to traverse the terrain. Your speed is slowed to half. The compost underfoot sending up waves of fresh earth mixed with decaying and dying foliage.
So
Yeah.
I'm using Freedom Call.
Okay.
Which. Oh wait, no, my bad. I'm using Agile Feet.
Using what?
Agile Feet.
Okay.
It can increase mobility. Wait, where's the one that I have that?
That lets you-
Liberation. There it is.
Yeah, but doesn't the ground affect some of
Regardless of magical effects, it doesn't impede movement.
For Sean.
Sorry, I'm
it? First shot.
Yeah.
For you.
Sorry.
That's fine.
So you're like, ugh.
Yeah.
He's running like circles around us.
Exactly.
Come on,
Yeah, he
guys, let's go.
Well, bully for you.
Okay. So mushroom clusters cling to and climb the trunks of large trees around you, and the sky begins to dim as the canopy becomes thinner. A soft evening glow peeks through from the various small holes made by the warm wind coming from the rushing waters behind. As you get deeper into the forest, Nevin looks up at you and shakes his head. It should be here. I know it was here last time. Maybe that pesky Marianne moved it.
Moved what?
The city.
Oh.
Just
Yeah, they do that.
moved the city?
It's the Feywild. Things move whenever they want to.
Silly me.
Do
you
we
know
just wait here for it to come back, or should we go chase after it?
I mean, we can keep looking around.
you mentioned Marianne. Do you know where she might?
Marianne?
Marianne?
She's the leader
Ah.
of these. Yeah.
So we
of
won't
this-
just find her out.
Yeah, this
Why
feels
not?
kludgy to me. Mage armor myself.
It lasts for like what, 12 hours? 8 hours?
8 hours.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know any other locations it might be, or like?
I mean, it's usually in this forest near near here.
Well, if you want to take the lead, we'll just kind of
yeah.
troll along the forest with you to see if we can find it.
So you guys just start looking around.
Yeah.
Sure,
perception.
kind of as a party then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everybody-
as a party.
Everybody do perception
As a party.
checks.
24.
26.
Okay.
What does my... Oh. 21.
Okay. Sylvanas, you see a slight movement in the distance. It appears and then blends into the shadows of the forest. Another shape steps away from the trunk of a tree in the distance and then melds with another a few feet away from that.
Did you guys just see that over there? It was like a shape. I was just kind of like going in and out of the trees. Or I'm just like tripping balls over
I didn't see it.
I just saw that dirty spot on Robin's back. Prestidigitation.
here. Well, I think I saw something over this way. I think we should maybe follow it.
Okay.
I mean, don't blame me if we get jumped, but it's a possibility.
I mean, we're in the Feywild.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we head over that way.
Okay, go ahead and roll another perception check.
Okay.
There we go.
25.
Okay.
35.
Okay.
33.
Okay. So, moving through the forest, you notice figures. Each time one is noticed, they blend into the forest, only to reappear through the mist a few moments later, never getting too close, but watching every movement. Nevin and Tokisis look around nervously. Tokisis grabs your cloak, staying close. The trees begin to get wider the closer you get, expanding and dwarfing even the trees of Singorn. The trunks carpeted in moss and large mushrooms that grow out of the side of them, and form long, winding stairways up and around the trunk. The moss glows a soft blue in the evening light, lighting up the lower reaches and illuminating the hanging buildings of the city. You look up, and it's a large city nestled in the trees on the outskirts of the plains, across the rivers of sorrow. Large structures form around the trunks of the trees, buildings hanging down like ripe fruit from the canopies, each one painted in warm reds, yellows, and blues. They sway lightly in the soft breeze. The smell of greenery and fresh turned earth ride the wind. Nearing the city, you notice figures moving through the forest like shadows. I already said that. So as you get close, you actually notice that these clusters of mushrooms, instead of just being clusters, they look more like staircases that
Go up.
spin around the trunks. And up above, you see figures moving through the branches, through the canopy. They're really high up. You see buildings hanging like ripe fruit swinging in the breeze, bridges between each tree. And these trees are gigantic. Think like Lothlorien.
Okay. We just keep heading in, I suppose, right? Not much else
I'm on board.
we can do. Holding Tokisis' hands so he doesn't get lost.
Okay. And he's looking up, eyes wide, and kind of looking around. Yeah, he, as you get close to one of the trees, he brushes beside one of them, and some of the moss starts to glow a little bit. And you see a little more clearly now the figures that are moving in and out of the shadows. They look similar to you, but they look a little bit different. They're a little bit thinner. They're a little bit lankier.
Okay.
And they'll step out of a shadow and then all of a sudden move into the shadow of a tree and they're gone.
We're here to return him, right?
Correct.
Okay, so can I just like kind of shout out in Sylvan that like, is anyone there? We've come to return this boy to his family.
Okay. You don't hear anything in the distance. You hear kind of a slight echo, and then it's soaked up by the moss and the loam.
Okay. We just keep going in.
Okay. So the farther you get in, you notice things cluster a little bit more, and there are more of these mushroom staircases.
Okay.
They look almost engineered, but natural at the same time.
Do we want to try going up a staircase? Or
Oh yeah, I thought we were going upstairs.
We are going up the staircase.
Are you? You didn't say
No,
that?
no, we're-
You said
we're-
you were
we're
going
just
in
walking
deeper.
on
Yeah,
the
I want to go
ground.
upstairs.
Yeah, we're going up. Yeah, let's go.
Okay, as you begin climbing
Fine.
these stairs, 3 figures step out of the shadows and take up positions. 1 in front and 2 behind. Tall and lithe. It's difficult to tell the males from female. Features elongated and angled with an alien beauty. Their hair differing in shades from light green to a dark brown. They move with an easy grace like the leaves dancing in the wind. Occasionally they reach out a hand and brush it along the moss coating the tree. As they do, the glow intensifies and small glowing spores, like fireflies, release themselves and float around the figure and then dance away on the breeze. A flute begins to dance in the air, sending the spores on their way. Looking around, one of the figures behind is playing a strange flute. Its delicate fingers move with a practiced ease as the other begins to sing in a long-forgotten language. Both sounds performing as one, creating not only a beautiful waltz of sound, but weaving into you and making you feel calm and alert at the same time. Something's missing from this. But anyway, so as you walk up the stairs, they flank you, but they don't seem to mean any harm. They're just kind of it looks like they're guarding you,
Yeah. Or the area.
and they don't say anything except for the one singing in the back.
Yeah, I greet them. Hello.
Like we can insult them.
They say nothing.
Okay.
They just continue walking up with you.
Okay.
They're walking up with us,
Yeah.
not stopping us.
No, they're not stopping you.
Okay. So we just keep going on up.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Enjoying the music.
Everybody roll a will save.
No, that's not good.
They're probably trying to put us to sleep.
I mean, obviously. How do you do this one again?
It's my here. Will.
Okay.
Uh,
25.
Okay.
24.
Wow.
I lied. 23.
31.
Okay. So you look down and Nevin starts like rocking back and forth, but he seems pretty coherent. Turkesis is actually starting to drag behind as he's holding your hand. His eyes just can't stay open.
I just pick him up.
Okay.
He's a small child.
You feel something in the back of your head kind of pushing you to go to sleep, but you all resist it as they lead you up the stairs.
Okay.
You get to the top, and they lead you down a bridge, and then stop right in the middle of the bridge. Below you is a building, like a fruit-shaped building with a hole in the top, and a rope that leads down in it, and they stop flanking you on either side and point towards the hole.
Go down the hole.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go in. Holding on to Turkesis.
Okay. You get inside, and it's a huge room. It's not a huge structure. It's probably about like 40 feet wide, filled with pillows. I know, Terrence, leave me alone right now. I hate this part. Come on. Okay. It's filled with pillows and soft blankets and stuff, and you lay Turkesis down. He just nuzzles in and falls asleep. As all three of you get to the bottom, you notice that Nevin is not with you. Looking up out of the hole, you see one of the people, or one of the creatures standing above you, with bow on back and a spear in its hand, and the other two lead Nevin off, and that's the last you see of him.
Okay. I greet the person with the spear.
He ignores you. He's like 20 feet above you.
Oh.
And he's with Nevin.
Okay. I guess you want to just sit down, or
I guess.
I mean, after a little while, after about 20 minutes, another one comes in and they lower a basket down to you. And it's full of nuts and berries and fruit and not really anything like meaty. There's some mushrooms in there. It doesn't look like these creatures hunt animals.
Okay. Yeah.
Sleep.
Can I detect magic?
Yeah,
What do I detect?
nothing.
No magic. We just feel like we're getting sleepy.
Yeah, yeah, it's actually stopped because the music is gone. You can feel like an ambient music around. It just kind of feels like there's something. They're in sync with this forest a little bit. Like they're part of it and it's part of them.
Mm-hmm.
You feel magic in the air, but it's not something tangible.
Is there any mouse in here? Like,
There is not.
Okay.
There was on the outside of the structure.
Okay.
Did you want to check it out?
Can we go out?
I mean, you can.
Try.
Yeah, you can try.
I just want to go touch the mouse and see if it glows and see if that's how you communicate.
Okay. So you touch the moss, and it glows a little bit, and as you take your hand away, the glow fades.
Okay.
Think like Avatar,
That's
like
what
in
I
the
was
dark
thinking.
when they're walking across and their footprints are there, but then they disappear eventually.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I think they clearly just want us to wait here. So I say we eat some food and kind of relax.
Okay.
Yeah, this doesn't feel like a trap.
I mean, it might be, but you know, sometimes the only way to get through is to just deal with the trap.
Yeah. So yeah, an hour goes by. It's not really that long. I know you guys are sitting there waiting impatiently.
Mm-hmm.
But after about an hour, the two original come back. It's You think it's the two original ones, along with the one that's guarding you. They look very similar, but there's a slight different. There's a different hue. And one goes down the rope. She's a little bit different than the others. Her hair is pure white, or its hair is pure white. Wearing skin-tight clothes, pants, with a flowy shirt and a vest. Very asexual, and slides down the rope. You notice that Tokisa starts stirring a little bit. And she steps in and she looks at you. Who are you?
We are adventurers from... What world are we from?
Not from the Feywild.
Yeah.
No, from the material plane.
We're from the material plane. We are here to search for this child's family. We believe he is from the Feywilds.
We know the family name, right? Or we figured out the family name?
No, I don't think so. We just know his first name.
And where did you find this child?
That's an interesting
Story.
question. So, we were on a quest in the Material Plane to gather these powerful magical orbs. One of our party members, who's no longer with us, actually entered the orb and pulled this child out.
Okay. Diplomacy check for me.
All of us?
No, he's the only one talking.
That's not bad. Natural 20.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
yeah. There you go.
Interesting. And why do you think this child is from here?
After consulting with people from the Material Plane, they believe that the orb, correct me if I'm wrong, folks, was created here, or from a tribe here that was... They put the child into the orb to create the magical object. We were told that he was from here. He only speaks
Sylvan?
Sylvan, which we know is a fairly dead language where we're from, but it's spoken here. So, yeah, that's what.
Now help improve our point here with the dead language thing.
Oh, yeah. I learned it.
So yeah,
Very fun.
like, are you not familiar with this ritual? I mean, we believe this child to be over 100 years old, even though I know he only looks like 6.
Bring the child to me.
I wake him up, kind of stare him, and gesture him over to.
Okay. She looks at him. She starts touching his face. She kind of closes her eyes and concentrates. And as she does, you see kind of a glow resonate between them. And she opens her eyes really quickly. And she looks kind of lost. She's just like, I don't know how this happened. I know of this child, but he was rumored to have disappeared hundreds of years ago.
Yeah, that's what we believe as well. I'm not sure how he came to be put into this orb that we found in the material world, but yeah, I figured we should bring him to his relatives if there are any left, or he should be with his people.
Okay, and she kind of closes her eyes a little bit, and how long does your detect magic last?
Lasts for a while. It should be still working. No, it's gone.
Okay.
It's 1 minute per level.
Oh yeah. So you see her kind of concentrating a minute, and then she opens her eyes. We will deal with this child. We will take him, and we will find out where he belongs.
Okay.
What is it that you're here to seek besides that?
That was our main objective. We do, if it's possible, we would like to create another orb. We have this raw material from the material plane where we're from, and
Did we need here?
I don't
Did
remember.
we make it here, or is
I
it?
don't.
No, we just needed components.
Yeah, and we need to find some components for it, which
The dragon,
yeah, but I
the
don't-
time dragon.
yeah, and information would be great as
You
well.
need the time dragon, you need the crystal dragon,
Mm-hmm.
and you need another
Child.
child.
I don't want to just come out and say like, "Hey, do you have a young person I can
Extra
just
children.
just lying around?"
You need to be a little more specific. I may have information if you need it, but
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know how in tune you are with the material, but shit is fucked there right now. To put it bluntly, we need to create another magical orb. For that, we need to find the time dragon, the crystal dragon, and another being to put into the orb to power it. If that's something you can assist with, we would be greatly appreciative.
well, knowing the Feywild as we do, it is, how did you put it? Fucked here too.
Oh, that sucks. What's going on here? We
The
can maybe help.
Feywild is a reflection of the material plane.
Ah,
When things go badly there, they go badly here as well.
okay.
And we might have some information for you, or a way to get it. The problem is, we need our problem solved first.
That's happening. Yeah.
That's great because we are fantastic.
We're so good at adventuring.
Yeah.
We are so good at
Or we
adventuring.
may
It's
not look it.
awesome.
We may not look it, but we're pretty good.
We are.
Yeah. So we'd be definitely happy to assist if you can help us as well.
Well, it will be extremely dangerous.
Danger is one of our middle.
Well, it's either face the danger or leave both worlds fucked. Let's do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Good danger.
Well, there is an adult forest dragon that has moved into our domain.
Oh, that's fine.
Um,
We've got to worry about a crystal and time dragon. A forest dragon is nothing.
they're very dangerous.
I'm sure they're
Are
extremely
they as dangerous as time dragon?
I've never met one in person, so I do not know.
Exactly.
Yeah, I apologize for my. rant
This
here,
is
but
fine.
We are definitely happy to, at least, try and solve your dragon problem.
Worst case scenario, we die.
Yeah, that is the worst case scenario, Robin. Thank you.
Yes.
No skin off your bones if we try
No,
to
it's
take care of
not.
it.
I love your optimistic approach
Yeah.
today.
Do
as
you
woke up on the right side
mind?
of the tree.
Yes, I do.
Well, if you are willing to help, we may be able to help you as well.
Okay.
We have many orphans because of this dragon, and not enough hands to take care of them.
So we'll just
We'll take care
take.
of one.
I'll have one orphan, please.
But in order to do that, we need the dragon taken care of.
Yeah, we're definitely happy to give that a shot.
Fighting gold college try.
Yep.
As they say.
All right.
How would you like us to handle the dragon?
That is entirely up to you,
Just as long as it's not alive.
Here,
as long as it's not here.
so we could like shoo it away, or we can kill it.
Which is easier said than done
I
with an
can
adult
only
dragon.
imagine.
But I will have one of my people lead you through the forest to the outskirts of its domain.
Okay.
Got it.
And from there, you will have to find it yourself.
Okay. Do you have any information about this dragon? Like what, maybe some of its weak points are, or?
We do not. It's only been in our area for a short time,
Mhm.
but long enough to create a lair. One thing you should know about dragons in general, if you haven't figured this one out already, is that they possess a certain amount of space, and the longer they're there, the more they control that area,
Mhm.
so that it bends to the dragon's will.
And how long has this dragon been there?
For a short time, about 100 years.
Okay, so it's got like some time, because that's For a long time. Okay, perfect.
Well, to us.
Yeah, to them it's fine.
Actually, let me double check that.
That's
'cause
fine.
I don't even think that they live that long. They do, but
Yeah. And then
It's fire.
also, do you have
probably
any,
about 50 years, going on 50 years.
Okay. Do you have any like items that may help us? I mean, at the least, I know I could use some more arrows, but
Arrows we can provide, yes.
any like other kind of weapons or potions or
We can, we will see.
okay.
Give me a little time. Is there anything else that you need?
Gentleman, lady. No. Okay. I mean, yeah.
Some cute shoes.
You have hooves.
Right. You have hooves.
And I'm tired of them getting all muddy.
All the gold paint is gone.
Yes, it is.
Okay, yeah, I mean, besides, like, you know, anything that would help us on our adventure, you know, whether it be armor or scrolls or weapons, I mean, we, obviously, the more help we can get, the better. But yeah.
All right.
That'd be great.
I'm feeling very positive today. Let's just do it!
Yeah,
right.
dude, that's what you gotta do. Just put your best foot forward.
Give me half a day. I will see what supplies I have to lend or to give you, and send you on your way.
Cool. In the meantime, can we, like, go exploring, or are we...
Absolutely, you are free to roam the city with your escort. Yes.
Okay, cool.
And she climbs up, like, super agile with this kid in one hand, and she climbs up the rope, and
Bye, Tokisis.
he looks at you like and starts crying a little bit. And,
Go join the other orphans.
But he's like the oldest one.
He is the oldest orphan in the land.
Yeah, he is.
Cool. Yeah, let's go exploring. Let's kind of
Okay. So she disappears. Like you get up to the top and she's gone.
Mhm.
Yeah, looking around, it seems like a normal city. It's just, it looks like a lot of how am I gonna put this? A lot of rope bridges and buildings
Mhm.
with buildings hanging as well. Like they're above you and below you. They're everywhere. It looks like a fruit tree, just like shit fruit everywhere.
Okay.
It's a little bit difficult to move around. You're not used to being up on rope ladders. You see the denizens of this area kind of moving gracefully across the bridges and things, whereas you're having kind of a hard time with the swaying, and
Mhm.
because it's all rope and wood, it's not solid anything
Mhm.
except right around the trunks of the trees. What is it that you're looking for?
I mean, she's looking for the other kind of stuff for us, but like, I think it'd just be cool to like. I can't imagine many people from the material world have ever been here, so we just like to learn more about
Well,
the
we
area.
also know that whatever we see, we more than likely won't remember.
Favorite.
There is that, yeah.
Yeah, but we might remember.
Yeah, I mean, did you want to ask him anything? You're the only one that speaks Sylvan.
Feeling sorry for that. I apologize for my friend comment, you know.
Broken Sylvan.
I didn't know so.
Yeah.
True.
I don't know. What do I ask?
I don't know. Ask them to the shops.
As you're walking around, you notice that some of the beings are actually stopping and staring at you, kind of in wonder.
Mhm.
They've not seen a fawn so tall before, or an elf so meaty.
I know what he did.
Well, I mean, to
Yeah,
look at
actually,
them, they look like they weigh about 145 pounds at 6 foot tall.
Oh, and you're little fat and stumpy.
I am fat and
Very
stumpy.
short.
I'm 5'9".
I'm 6 foot, so.
Well, good.
And
Oh,
they're especially looking at you. They have not seen a half elf in, well, most of them have never seen a half elf, and they don't understand why that would ever happen to begin with.
Hello.
They're not being mean to you. They're just looking at you in curiosity. A group of small children run up and kind of run around you and start picking at your clothes and like pointing and like rubbing your armor and
So I don't know how long. Yeah, makes sense.
and checking out your bow, and then they run around to Nokomis and like point and laugh at her feet and like kind of try to touch you, and
But I'm safe, basically.
you kind of are, yeah, but you're still rare even among like even among Fae.
I do not like all this. This guy's self.
As what?
Something more similar to them.
So you disguise yourself as one of them,
Yeah.
and they look up and they squeal in like joy and laughter, and then run away.
They can probably see the magic.
Probably. Yeah, probably yeah.
But it was fun.
You made them laugh. Yeah,
Um,
children's laughter, right? That's
Can I just go back and pray the entire time?
Yeah.
Sorry,
that's fine.
I can't.
One of the guards
I can't
peels
be
off and
imagining
escorts you
it.
back.
That's fine. Okay. I just am walking around, exploring.
Okay. Are you doing anything while you're praying, or are you just praying?
Just praying. I
Okay.
just can't think of anything right now.
That's fine. That's totally
I
fine.
need a moment, so I'm gonna go back as well,
Okay.
and I'm gonna go and like tiptoe in on Robin while she's praying and sit and concentrate my thoughts, and then do haunted Fae aspect, so I look like a really bizarre, weird Fae creature. When she looks up, she's gonna freak out.
Okay. You know, I explore around a little bit. I mean, I don't understand anything they're saying, so
Yeah.
I'm just kind of walking around, and then I'll head back.
Okay. Are you doing anything in particular, or are you just like walking around?
No, I
looking?
mean, I'm just looking. So I figure it's like a random place.
Okay.
I mean,
So
I can't
you're walking
communicate.
through some of the places, and they look like they have. It's a city.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
I
just
explore,
it looks like
the
a very
stands,
large
I'm sure.
communal city, so it looks like everybody's working
Mhm.
with and for everyone else. So it's not a lot of shops. It's
Yeah.
not a lot of things like that. But you walk through, like you walk by a couple places that are actually hollowed out part of the trees, and you see some smoke come out of it, and you look in, and they're making like strange, like you watch them make an arrow. And it's like it's one of those things like when you're in a Ren fair, you rarely see people actually making
Making
things;
them.
they just sell them.
Yeah.
So you're like kind of entranced for a little while at this arrow making. It's not that he's almost hammering wood. You see him. You see the creature pull a branch out and start literally hammering the wood. It after a little while, it starts looking like an actual arrow. You see him carving the shaft. You watch him meticulously put the feathers on the end, and then set it aside and begin on another one. It's not a process you've ever seen before. In the back of your head, you kind of hear a song almost, like he's been humming the whole time, but you couldn't hear it over the pounding, and you feel kind of a resonance with it, kind of like a magic coming from the actual song while he's doing this.
Okay.
You two are still kind of hearing the song outside as well. The quieter it gets, the easier it is to hear it. It's not always emanating from an actual being. It's almost coming from the trees as well.
Cool.
Are you communing with your god as far as like, are you asking her a question, or
Kind of just favor while we do this.
so you're asking for
Yeah,
blessings?
blessings.
Okay.
while we do this.
Absolutely. While you're sitting there, quietly meditating, you kind of hear a rustle beside you, and the room moves a little bit, and you figure that somebody's come in and sat down.
Mm.
But you're too busy concentrating on what your goddess and speaking to her, and you kind of go into a trance where you can hear everything around you, but it doesn't matter. You go into your own little space, and you kind of ask silently for help, and you feel a presence on your shoulder, just like kind of a hand on your shoulder. You feel hair kind of falling next to you, and then you hear in your ear a whisper. If knowledge is what you seek, I will assist.
Okay.
And as you do, as you finish hearing it, the breath goes by your ear, the hand releases, and you get a flash of dense forest. And in it you see a nest. And it's not like a nest that you've seen before. It looks like a bird's nest, but much larger. It's just branches in a large dome with a hole right in the middle. And you see not really smoke coming out of it, it's more of a mist. And looking around, as you realize this, you look around, and the whole forest around this place is filled with mist. And as you finish this, you will have a +2 on Knowledge Arcana for the next 24 hours. Actually, make it a +5.
On Arcana.
Yeah, because you spent time doing this.
Is there a temporary?
Uh-uh.
You just have to remember it.
Just write it down. There's more 7 up in there if you needed to.
Yeah, I might need to do that. I might need to like this relaxing music that's playing from the Fey Wood Wild might be.
Did you guys need to take a break real quick?
I'm okay. Like, Sean?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Maybe
So
a
about
little bit.
3 hours go by, and you come out of your trance, and you open your eyes, and there is like this creepy ass motherfucker sitting right in front of you that does not look like anything. And scares the crap out of you, and you hear Tokisis laughing, or Nokomis laughing behind the face.
Sorry, couldn't resist.
You take the rest of your tour, kind of looking around. You see kids, mothers. Huh?
Yeah,
He's in charge of me for
I got it.
Yeah. And after a little while, your escort nudges you back to the actual building that you were in before,
Okay.
and sends you down the rope. And you see a creepy ass fey-looking creature sitting
What the
across
fuck is
from
that?
Robin, laughing as Robin's looking kind of startled.
Hi, welcome back.
Nokomis? What are you doing over there? Stop messing around.
I never get a chance to use this spell.
Touche. Touche. Okay.
How often are we going to be in the Feywood when I can turn into a wicked-looking Fey?
Right. So after you guys get settled back in for just a second, one of the guards yells, and it's like you just kind of peek out, and he gestures for you guys to come up. And as you get to the top, Marianne is there, and a couple of other of her people are standing next to her, and she hands you. She looks at you. I have only so much to give, but these are yours. And she hands you 2 cure moderate wounds and a light wound potion.
Okay.
Why don't you take all those?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm happy to.
She also hands you a quiver of arrows
Okay.
full of. There are 20 masterwork arrows in there.
20 masterwork?
Yes.
Beautiful.
And they are definitely of the same stock that you saw being made.
Okay, so let me do that.
They look completely made of wood, even the tip. But the tip looks extremely sharp.
Deadly wooden arrows.
Yes. Yes, they are.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much. I guess if there's anything else you guys need, we will head out. Yeah? Unless you guys want to wait till, well, it's not really like a morning.
No, like, the light never
There's no
changes.
time.
Yeah, there's no time, exactly.
Am I pretty now, Mom?
Okay.
Got a bloody nose.
Oh no, shit.
Doing great, guys. You're killing it.
Alright, so,
What happened?
she
She just
She
gave
has
us some
arrows
potions.
and potions. And we are about to head out with our guide to go
Yes.
to the edge of this dragon's territory.
And she points.
Can I
Huh?
just tell them about my dream real quick?
Them?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I had a dream while I was praying that I saw a giant nest, and on giant nest made of woods, and in the middle was like little, like smoke, but it was mist coming out, and the entire nest is surrounded by mist.
Okay.
So
Lovely, dangerous mist, giant dragon's nest. Wood. Did someone bring fire?
I have so I have 2 charges of sun metal.
I have
bring,
wood.
and I have daylight ready.
Okay, just saying, we probably should try not to burn down the forest too while we're doing this
I
thing.
guess since they're in tune with the forest.
You, well, do a knowledge nature. Nokomis.
But I don't know anything about nature.
You're a bard, you know everything about everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Duh.
20.
Actually, I take that back. Add that to your survival. You would use that more. Sorry.
20.
Okay. Yeah, you know enough about survival and about the woods that if it's misty out, it's going to be almost impossible to set the forest on fire, especially if it's like growing wood like everything is here. The Feywild's weird. Everything's alive.
Mhm.
You kind of sense that. So it's going to be, you would have to have a seriously destructive spell to start setting shit on fire.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, if you guys are ready to do this,
Yeah.
let's do it. Let's head out.
All right, so you head out. She motions you back to away, and a smaller version of these people, probably about 5'10", but still lithe and dainty almost.
Mm-hmm.
Motions for you to follow, and leads you down the staircase. At the bottom of the staircase are two more of these creatures with Nevin standing in the middle of them.
Okay.
And as you come down, he looks up at you. Well, looks like my job here is done.
Thank you so much, Nevin. It was a pleasure traveling with you.
That was
Thank
very
you
nice.
for your help.
Thanks for all the fun by the water.
Yeah, hey, that wasn't my fault.
No one's blaming
I
you.
was just taking you where you needed to go.
Yeah,
We
thank you
just
so
thought
much.
you would enjoy the show.
It was extremely entertaining, especially from the side of the river. But that Marianne in which she won't let me stay, so I gotta go.
Okay. Bye.
So he turns around and kind of clubs back into the forest with the two guides with him, and your guide motions you into the forest. You move into the forest. It starts getting a little more dense, as forests tend to when they're not being cleared. It is, again, pretty difficult terrain to move through. What is your favorite terrain?
I think it's like not forest.
Not forest.
I'll look that up.
Anyway, so he leads you through, and it leads you through, and you notice that this creature has no problem walking through these areas.
Mhm.
And at one point, he actually starts walking into a tree and disappears, and about 40 feet ahead of you pops out of another tree and motions for you to follow.
That's cool.
And does this a few more times, not really walking beside you, just kind of guiding you through. As you walk another couple of hours or so, you start to notice that he's appearing less and less. And at some point, you look around and there's mist starting to form around your feet. And you see him appear one more time. You walk close to him. He nods at you, he bows, and then he disappears into the tree, and you do not see him again.
Okay. Looks like this is as far as he is willing to take us. I guess we'll just start looking for traces of dragon. So we
Okay.
just kind of like start wandering in the same direction that we were going.
Do a survival check for me.
Yep.
Does anybody want to help him?
We can help you.
Okay.
Thank you. 28.
Roll again. Take the higher of the two.
Less.
Okay. So you look down and you notice that the mist is actually flowing almost, kind of like water.
Okay.
And it's flowing from a certain direction. And with the description that Robin gave you, you probably figure it's coming from wherever this nest is.
Okay. I know it's very rough terrain, but if we could try and be sneaky, so we're not just like stomping up to a dragon, I think that would be the best course of action, and then follow the mist.
Okay. So you follow the mist. Are you doing a stealth check then?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do a stealth check.
Okay. I'll go ahead and put your adventure music again so you don't fall asleep. Adventure music. What?
24.
38.
24.
Wow, you guys are getting really good at this.
I got a 19 is the only reason.
Oh.
Yeah, you guys are pretty quiet for not knowing this area. You move pretty quiet. You move silently through. You notice that if you step between a lot of the roots and stuff, there are bushes, but there's also moss, and it's a little bit easier to move quietly.
Mm-hmm.
The forest doesn't really get any thicker. In fact, the further you go in, it starts getting a little bit clearer. Like the trees move out of the way a little bit, and you see some light ahead.
Do we want to just go towards the light, or do we want to like maybe discuss?
So go toward the light.
Discuss a strategy. I mean,
we're just sneaking around. We know the nest is probably in the middle of this mist. We're kind of
Yeah.
following the mist through the ground.
yeah.
So that's kind
But we see like the light up ahead.
Yeah.
Want to just go?
Do a
Towards it?
perception check,
Okay.
since apparently you're in the lead.
Yep. Well, we don't have a big shieldy tank in front of me, so I guess my responsibility now. 35.
Okay, you notice that it looks like there's a clearing up above,
Mm-hmm.
or up ahead. It's still misty. It's filtered light,
Mm-hmm.
but you can tell that it looks like the canopy kind of opens up a little bit, and you're getting a little bit more of that evening light in.
Oh, can I use a knowledge arcana on the mist?
Yeah,
Would that, I don't know if that would help or not.
As well.
10.
10. No, that's with the +5. Okay, it was a +2. So
Would you like some help with that?
Yeah.
as you discuss it,
Really?
go for it. Yeah. Hopefully it's higher.
16.
Total.
Yeah.
Not too crazy arcana. You know that some dragons' layers actually produce certain things, and you're assuming that the closer you get to this dragon's lair, the mistier it's going to get.
Is arcana knowledge of dragons?
It's of magic in general.
Oh, so can I use knowledge dragon? Like, if I use a knowledge arcana on dragon.
Dragons are a magical creature, yeah.
So, can I use a knowledge arcana on forest dragons?
You just want general knowledge about forest dragons?
Yeah.
Did you want
Or weaknesses, or like...
her to help you? Like,
Yeah.
you want to discuss this while you're talking, or while you're
Yeah.
moving?
Well, can we stop and like just have a brief?
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
stuck.
yeah,
Like we see the light ahead
absolutely.
of us, so we're just kind of like
You
trying to hash
usually,
out
like,
a
good
Would
plan.
you like me to see what my brain remembers about
Yeah.
dragons?
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see what my brain remembers about dragons.
Do you
Do
want
it.
to see what my brain remembers about dragons?
Okay.
Because your knowledge arcana is bigger.
Yeah.
So, with this blessing,
Mm-hmm.
you can choose. You can either get an advantage, or you can add that +5 to his knowledge.
I said hit the last 5 to his knowledge.
Okay. So go ahead and roll and add +5 to it.
Um. $42.
42. Okay. You know quite a bit about these, actually.
So I was having that conversation with Marianne,
Right,
and I was like,
Marianne.
Marianne, and he was like, "Do you know anything?" And you just like kept quiet.
I
I forgot I knew these things.
Right. Selective memory. Come on.
That's fine.
I have to
Um,
remember so much.
You know that forest dragons are pretty darn evil. But you also know that they don't move around a lot. Once they find someplace, they usually stay there unless they're pushed out by something a lot more powerful than them.
Why did I agree to this?
Very powerful.
You also know that their layers usually, they shroud most of their layers in mist. Watch out for the vines. They also have a special ability where they can sound like anything they've heard before.
Mm.
So they can mimic things. They like to lure things in and then destroy them by sneak attack and stuff. They have no problems moving through forests at all, which was probably a given. And the older they get, obviously, the more powerful they get.
Do I know?
They cannot fly.
Do I know anything about the nature of the mist?
You killed the dragon. The dragon layer, the dragon's layer literally pulls from the magic of the dragon. So the only way to get rid of anything magic-wise around their lair is to either destroy the dragon or move it out of its territory and give it a new lair.
Okay. So you either have to try and push it out, or try and
To push it out or
Kill
move
it.
it. Or, yeah, kill it or push it out.
kill it. But those are our two options.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if the mist was poison or.
Let's see.
Magical
They're pretty intelligent. They're not like super smart or anything. Let's see. What do
Can
they
we
speak?
reason with the dragon?
They speak Common and Draconic.
I speak Draconic.
I
Yes,
speak
you can.
common.
You can try to speak with it. It is an option as well. Negotiation might be an option. They are chaotic evil, but they're still intelligent.
Yeah. Okay.
You also know to stay away from the front of its mouth
That,
Shocker.
because their breath weapon is very dangerous.
Okay.
Robin, I'm going to repeat that for you. Stay away from the front of its mouth.
Why would I go near the front of its mouth?
Right.
I don't know.
You always seem to end up in the most precarious spots.
You also know that the older they get, as they get more powerful, they can change their shape. So you may run into one and not even know it
Okay.
until it's too late.
Okay. So this one's at least 50, but it's probably much older than that. Okay. Do we want to go and approach this light now, or do you want to kind of like spread out a little bit, like maybe like 10 feet, and then walk in, or how do we want to do this?
Well, we don't want to look menacing. We actually are going to attempt to talk to it.
It's
first.
true. No, it's true. Well, let's just head in.
Because you're just going to walk into the
Well,
clearing.
that's what I'm asking. Like, do we want to just walk in? Do we want to sneak in? Do we want to?
Hold, please.
Yeah.
Do you want to scout ahead?
I'm trying to check my... Because I know if we try to talk to this dragon, we're going to have to diplomacy our way through this.
Yeah.
Or intimidate our way through this, one of the two.
I don't think you're gonna
Intimidate a dragon.
intimidate a dragon. I think the diplomacy is probably the better route. Because, like, I don't mind trying to fight a dragon, but, like, if we could just be like, yo, like, that
Go
other
away.
spot over there is way better, that would be.
Can we lie to the dragon?
Yeah. You can lie to anyone. Just if they believe
Right.
It's bluff.
Yeah, bluff, diplomacy,
Yeah.
or intimidate. And they can do sense motive to see if they believe you or not.
you. Yeah. I mean, I would let our bard handle the talking. He's the he's
She's
the bard.
pretty persuasive.
Yeah. But like
Seriously.
like dragon persuasive.
They're just base of 15.
What would you be?
Just base of 15. My bluff is 5.
That's all she has is, like, skill points.
Yeah, but doesn't she have an inspiration thing that buffs that up?
No, she has a swap, and I can swap one for another.
Maybe if you sing to it and it really likes your song, you can convince
Let me
it.
try that.
Like you sing about a place that's like far away from here, and just like, yeah, that place sounds.
Yeah, that sounds really cool.
Maybe I'll go there. You never know, man. I don't know. I don't think we fought.
I don't know no dragons!
Yeah,
Fought dragons.
we did.
Yeah, you
fight.
have.
We have fought a dragon.
But it was a very young one,
It was a very young one.
and it still kicked your butt.
Yeah,
That's where Caius died.
it is where Caius died. That was before Caius.
The first
died.
time.
Yeah.
Well, if I could fascinate it, I could probably make a suggestion that it leaves.
Oh, let's give it a shot.
Or we could just ask it.
We can ask it nicely.
Where do we want it to go, though?
Not here.
Not here. Thanks.
Leave the woods for the map. Well, I guess you'd want a forest because it's a forest dragon. I wish I knew the terrain better.
You want to climb a tree and look around?
Sure. I'll climb a tree and look around.
Okay.
21.
Yeah, you scramble up the tree. It takes you a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The higher you get, go ahead and do another climb check for me. The higher you get, the smaller the branches get, obviously.
That is 19.
19, that's good enough. You get to the top of the tree, and it's a large canopy of trees. I mean, you can look back where you came, and you can see in the far distance some larger trees that were probably where you came from. Looking ahead, you actually see the forest go on for a bit, and then it stops. And it looks like a wasteland beyond that. It looks like, everything around it has died.
Mm-hmm.
It looks almost swampy. And then beyond that is a large mountain range.
Okay, so no more outside of the forest, right?
Right. I mean, you see more forest.
Yeah, but it's the same forest.
It is the same forest,
I
yeah.
think that Marianne
Marianne?
wants it out of this particular forest.
Yeah, you notice that the swampy area looks to be kind of a weird patch in this forest next to the mountain.
Okay.
It's very oddly placed because it doesn't look like... It looks like the forest just goes up and then stops and then moves on another direction.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Okay.
that spot probably shouldn't be there.
Like, you guys tried some over there. By the swamp.
I think that's the spot where it's at.
Maybe. Okay, I go back down. I tell my thing.
You also, from where you are, you see a clearing
Mm-hmm.
with a small, not even a pond, like a little bit bigger than a pond.
Uh-huh. That's like close to us.
Yeah, that's
where I
where
thought
the
dragon
clearing
was.
is, yeah.
I think the dragon's right there in the clearing. That's where the light was. Okay. I tell them what I saw. And so I think if we try, we can convince them to go like further away towards the swamp. But maybe. I mean, assuming it's right here.
Alright, what's the plan? Just kind of
Well, we can
nonchalantly wander into this clearing, and then when he tries to eat us, I'll talk to him in Draconic and then convince him to move to a swamp?
No, a forest next to the swamp. An extension of the forest. I mean, I don't know, man. We're kind of in a bind here. We don't really have... We have to try and convince it to move. So, I mean, we have to go into this clearing at some point anyways. So, like, do we want to, like...
Okay. I randomly saunter into the clearing. When he tries to eat us, I'll speak in Draconic. Hopefully he'll stop.
Mm-hmm.
Then what are my selling points for this forest adjacent a swamp? Obviously he picked this spot because it's nice. There's what looks to be a clearing and a pond and...
Yeah. I mean, swamp have their own, like, neat features. You know?
You're not helping me on the selling points.
They have,
They're kind of
like-
cool, you know. They're
They
kind
have,
of wet
like-
and murky
Yeah,
and
I'm-
stinky. And
There's all sorts of, like, random wildlife you could eat there, like
combustible gases.
combustible gases. That's fun. You know, light things on fire. Who doesn't like that?
Pretty sure he's capable of doing that all on his own.
I know, but if he lights the gas on fire, it's an even bigger explosion.
Oh, right. So we're selling...
yeah, you know that forest dragons don't breathe fire.
We're selling a forest dragon the right to live by a swamp. How do we sell
I mean, I don't know, man.
Robin, thoughts?
I missed a lot of that.
Basically, we're just trying to figure out a reason why this dragon would want to
Move to a swamp.
move to us.
Or to a forest adjacent
Adjacent swamp.
swamp.
For it, and he wouldn't.
Well, that's not helpful.
Well, your idea is dumb.
Well, it's either like we can try and convince it, or like, and when it doesn't like what we have to say, we just have to.
It's not gonna like what we have to say.
Okay.
It's a forest dragon in the Feywild forest that's like, oh my god, I just found a Malibu beachfront house.
Yeah.
And you're just being like, hey, do you want to move to Anza?
They might. Some people like Hansa.
They like meth too. Are we gonna get him addicted to meth? We just
It never hurts.
Can we
It would
inject
lose
him
it-
with a little
it
meth
would lose
and
its-
just time?
It would
Right,
lose its teeth.
So you want to sneak around and get some swamp water. Maybe we can inject him with the swamp water to just naturally...
I don't know if that would work.
I don't know.
It's along the lines of his meth idea.
I know. Well, I mean, I don't really have any other ideas.
Meth is not a solution to every problem.
It's a solution to some problems, though. Like its fangs, like, you know, maybe a lot less scary if you just had gums, because its teeth fell out. But that's all I got. I mean,
Alright. Can we take a break before we go into this horribleness?
Sure.
I like this.
Break before we die.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and take a break,
Is it in a swamp?
and
Or is this
No,
just
it's a
forest?
pond.
But the pond is
be
in
back
the
in about, 15, 20 minutes.
Sure.